AFR On Demand is brought to you by Breck Golf. Try Beaver Creek today, just 20 minutes from downtown Baton Rouge in the Zachary area. They've got a PGA Tour driving range, a short game practice area, 30 to 40-yard practice shots. It's a great place to chip and putt and practice if you don't have time for a full round. Book your tee time today, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from downtown Baton Rouge.
Let's ride!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Goodwood. Men's Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Yes, sir. And Mr. Toby Tom Plate. We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day. Yep.
It's hump day.
It is hump day.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Counting down to LSU and Ole Miss.
Hump day.
Counting down to Saints at Bills.
It's hump day.
Counting down to Football Friday AFR live from Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Presented by Got Lit Light Installers.
Hump day.
Get some Christmas lights, y'all.
Hump day.
Russ Mitchell in a dozen minutes from right now.
It's hump day.
Wonder what he thinks about Lane and Landry.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Landry and Witt. That's what I meant more that. Yeah, I meant that.
It's hump day.
Trinidad Chambliss starting at quarterback for Ole Miss.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
We talked Bills with Matt Perino.
Hump day.
Talked about C.D. Deuce getting cut in Houston.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Could he return to the Saints?
Hump day.
No, absolutely not. Not a shot. No.
It's hump day.
No shot at all of that.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Got a Caden Durham update for you.
Hump day.
He's questionable,
It's hump day.
but he could be probable.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
But he could be out.
Hump day.
So we don't really have an update.
It's hump day.
We'll give you another update
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
after the break.
Hump day.
All right, let's get going here. 5 o'clock. We're glad you're with us. Russ in 11 minutes from right now. Lot to do. There was significant news in the NFL a day ago where Brian Daboll, the coach of the Giants, announced that Jackson Dart, the rookie out of Ole Miss, is going to be starting not just this week against the Chargers, but for the remainder of the season. That is relevant here because the Saints host the New York Football Giants a week from Sunday in the Dome. So that means, barring something unforeseen between now and next Sunday, New Orleans will face rookie quarterback Jackson Dart. That's part of the story. The other part of the story now is what happens with Russell Wilson. And there was a piece earlier today that I came across that was suggesting possible spots for Russ. We know, he's a former Super Bowl champion whose time in Seattle ended. He went to Denver. Last year was in Pittsburgh. This year is in New York with the Giants. He's become certainly a journeyman here late in his career, as happens with a lot of guys that aren't ready to hang it up, but aren't really at the point of their career where any franchise is willing to invest in them as a franchise quarterback. So they bounce around a bit. And the primary options were, one, he could retire. It doesn't sound like he wants to do that. Russell Wilson has said he still believes that he's an NFL quarterback and wants to continue playing. The Cincinnati Bengals were another option, and that sort of makes sense, right? That's a veteran quarterback in Russell Wilson. You have a situation where the Bengals fancy themselves as a contender. You're going to be without Joe Burrow for several months. Is Jake Browning the guy that can keep you in contention until Burrow comes back? If not, could Russell Wilson potentially be that guy? It's an interesting option, potentially. That's one that clearly Cincinnati would have to make that decision. But the other option was New Orleans. And kind of work through the options that New Orleans has right now with Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shuck, and that the Saints are 29th out of 32 teams in the NFL in points per game. They have the fourth fewest yards per play, third fewest yards per pass. Spencer Rattler as a starter is 0-9. They're just not any good. And so could Russ come in and provide a better option for New Orleans than either Spencer Rattler or Tyler Shuck? And I think the answer to that question is probably yes. That's going to surprise some people because Russell Wilson he feels washed. But I think we have to understand context. Is Russell Wilson washed in terms of his ability to be a franchise quarterback that can lead you to a championship, or his ability to be a starter in the NFL? Remember, I said this about Derek Carr all the time. I never disputed whether or not Derek Carr was an NFL a starting caliber quarterback in the NFL. He was certainly that. He was just not an elite quarterback. You were never going to win anything with Derek Carr. That was my problem. He was I said it all the time, lower, mid-tier, upper, bottom-tier starter, which I think is probably where Russ is right now. But he's still a starting caliber quarterback in the NFL. My goodness, just a week ago at Dallas, he threw for 450 yards. He was 30 of 41 for 450 and 3 tuds. Now, he committed a brutal mistake that cost him the game in overtime, but you can't tell me he's not capable of still performing at a high level. And I want to be very clear. I don't think at all the Saints should go after Russell Wilson. No shot do I think the Saints should make a play for Russell Wilson. But these are two different conversations we're having. Now, hand in air, back in 2022, after Sean Payton retired, I pushed for the Saints to trade for Russell Wilson. Remember, Seattle was putting Russell Wilson on the open market. They were moving on from him. And I wanted the Saints to bring him in. The Saints at that time were just a year removed from their playoff appearance in 2020. What's now their last playoff appearance. They missed the playoffs in 2021. Jameis was hurt. And so you go into 22, and Russ was available. I very much wanted the Saints to sign Russell Wilson 5 years ago, or 3 years ago. They dodged that bullet. Seattle knew. Same as what I said that the Raiders knew forever about Derek Carr, that he was done. Like, he had reached his ceiling in the NFL. Russ goes to Denver. He's 4-11 his first year, 7-8 his second year. Last year he goes to Pittsburgh. He's 6-5 as a starter. This year with the terrible Giants team, he's 0-3. But he had a winning record in Pittsburgh. They were 7-8 in his 15 starts in Denver in 2023. He's still capable of playing at a high level. But here's the problem. Like, would Russell Wilson make the New Orleans Saints a better team today? Yes. Russell Wilson, let this seep into your brain. This is going to be hard for a lot of people to understand who want to hate Russ. But he threw for 450 2 weeks ago, or last 2 Sundays ago. Russell Wilson is still a capable starter. He, today, is a better option than either Spencer Rattler or Tyler Shuck today. However, even if you add Russell Wilson, you are not anywhere near a playoff team. You're not sniffing the playoffs with this roster. I don't need to spell it all out. 4 first-rounders on the offensive line, and your offensive line stinks. Alvin Kamara, God bless, he's running hard, but you got an aging running back. You don't have a legit number 1 receiver. Chris Olave fancies himself as that. He's not. And your defense, my God. So even if you added someone like Russell Wilson, you're not a contender. So do not give up a future asset to be marginally better this year, because even marginally better this year doesn't make you a playoff team or a contender in any fashion. The only benefit, singular, _bold, the only benefit for New Orleans adding someone like Russell Wilson today is that it would give Rattler and Shuck the opportunity just to sit and watch. Just sit and watch. Sit and watch and be around a veteran quarterback who's won a Super Bowl, who's been to Pro Bowls, who's been an MVP candidate, someone who can show you how to be a pro, to have that example. But I lobbied for that, not necessarily with Russ, with other veterans this offseason, to bring someone into that room to serve that role. And the Saints didn't want to do it. They have the smallest financial investment per the percentage of the salary cap in quarterback of any team in the NFL. They don't seem like they're interested in investing in quarterback. I don't think they should give up an asset to bring in a veteran quarterback, because it's all about, at this point, building for the future of this organization. So I don't know what's going to happen with Russell Wilson. What I do know is the Saints shouldn't give up anything to bring him here. Now, if the Giants cut him, which I do not think that will happen, they will keep, they had Jameis there as well. But if they did cut him and you could sign him as a free agent, okay, I'd be on board with that. But I am not in any way okay with giving up a future asset to make this team marginally better in 2025. All right, it's after further review. Love telling you about Evermore, EVAMOR, evermore.com. I love getting photos from so many of you at the store, at your home, at the grocery store, driving around, hydrating with Evermore. So many of you have become exposed to this brand, who have tried it, loved it. You've gone online, you've read the Google reviews, you've incorporated Evermore as part of your daily routine, and I couldn't recommend it highly enough. EVAMOR, evermore.com, evermore.com. Natural artesian water. It's a healthier alternative for your family, for your children, for high-performance athletes, and it's a Louisiana product. EVAMOR, evermore.com. Hydration for the win. Okay, quick break. Come back. Brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Russ Mitchell joins us. Recap last week, preview this week. Who's he got? LSU, Ole Miss. We'll do all that with Russ as we continue here on AFR.
AFR.
I love this partnership we have with Duplessis Builders. DuplessisBuilders.net, DuplessisBuilders.net. And I've told you that, yes, they will build your beautiful, premium, custom pool at Duplessis Builders. But they will also, they have on their website a tab at the top that says Pick Your Pool. If you go to the website, DuplessisBuilders.net, DuplessisBuilders.net, there's a Pick Your Pool tab at the top of the page. And if you hit that tab, it'll show you all the different models of pools that they offer for quite literally any budget. You want your premium custom pool, they absolutely do those, and they do it better than anybody. But they also have options for any budget. Learn more at DuplessisBuilders.net, DuplessisBuilders.net, DuplessisBuilders.net. If you thought to yourself, I'd love a pool, I just can't afford it. Think again. DuplessisBuilders.net. Hit the Pick Your Pool tab at the top of the page.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com. Russ Mitchell.
Kicking the tires and lighting the fires.
Russ!
Literally.
Well, I'm proud of Russ. I think Russ deserves it.
It's football!
Rusty, come on up here.
Absolutely, I thought that was going to happen because it's state. It's supposed to happen.
You know, I haven't had much of a chance to talk to you man to man, Russ.
How are things out there at DBU?
I want you to stay here and take care of things, Russ.
The only way you can point up is up.
Not going in our yard, Russ. It's going in our living room.
Just like Troy.
Can't see the line, can you, Russ?
Put your foot on his throat and choke him out.
Take it, Russ.
All right, let's get it. Do it every Wednesday. Russ Mitchell joins us at Russ Mitchell CFB is where you can get him. How are you?
Kicking tires, lighting fires, baby.
Why are you so excited to talk about the Auburn-Oklahoma game from last week?
I thought you were going to ask me about the Landry Witt thing.
I don't care about that. That's stupid.
It's so funny because
good for them.
Like,
I hope they have a great life.
Out there
Super successful.
Your daughter's never, ever going to root for you over her boyfriend. It's such a dumb question, man. No daughter's rooting for her dad. It's ridiculous. The Auburn boy, you know what? If you're an Auburn fan right now, I got to tell you, you got a lot to be upset about in that game because there were several calls. I'm sure you guys have been over it already, but that pick six was a joke. That was criminal. And the fake substitution on the sideline, what was that?
I love that so much. We did that play in high school, Russ. We ran the hideout play a bunch in high school, and it works every time. You can't do it every week, but like, it's kind of like less with the over-the-shoulder fake field goal.
No.
You do it every now and again when they're not expecting it. No, my point is, like, you can't do it every week. But, every now and again, when you catch them napping, you get it. It works every time. I love the hideout play.
I've
very illegal, apparently, in college football, but I love it.
Yeah, any rule, any play, it's like quarterbacks that can just chuck the ball out of bounds. When a defensive lineman's worked his tail off to get to him, and we have a rule to protect quarterbacks. It's called sliding. Any rule that if you did it on a playground with your friends, you would get a nickname that rhymes with.
Don't do it. Don't do it. No.
And you would get that nickname, and it would stick with you for 80 years. And that's the play that Oklahoma ran against Auburn, right?
No,
that's
it's awesome. It's genius.
Ridiculous.
It's
and
genius.
Then the pass interference on the end zone, on the goal line. But you can't get past the 10 sacks, dude. 10 sacks.
All refs are bad at their job. Don't get sacked 10 times.
10 times. And now Mateer's injured, so Although if you look at their schedule, they've got a bye, then they get can't read, can't write, Kent State. So it's like it's not until Texas, and so we'll see how it impacts Oklahoma.
That's if he comes back for then. I mean, dude's having thumb surgery, Russ.
Dude, can we also talk about what a cheater Arbuckle is? I love that guy. Wait. You're not racing if you're not rubbing. I don't like the substitution call because I think that's just nonsense. You run to the sideline and stop and you're wide open. What a joke.
So good. I love it.
He loves running those. I mean, his receivers are basically running basketball pick plays on every single play. It's fun to watch.
What did you make of Ole Miss? The manner in which they beat Tulane with Chambliss at quarterback.
It was good to see the defense actually show up. They scored on every trip into the red zone. That was impressive. They were consistent, just like LSU was consistent. But, and Tulane's obviously is a better step up than what LSU was playing.
Sure.
In the, the school of the blind, the children of the poor. But he did avoid turnovers to Trinidad. So, but there's not much you can take out of these games.
Okay. What about South Carolina, Missouri?
That was a very interesting game. The first thing I'll take out of that is, Lenore Sellers, I really think one day he's going to be a great quarterback.
He might be.
It's just not right now.
Yeah.
It's just not. He can make some great throws. It's like Arnold in that game against Oklahoma. He overthrew so many receivers. And you watch Sellers too. I mean, he makes two great plays and then a bonehead play. But, Missouri, God bless them, they were down at halftime, but they made South Carolina completely one-dimensional. The Gamecocks with -9 rushing yards, 3-11 on third downs. Missouri, meanwhile, ran the ball well. Hardy ran the ball well. I was very impressed with Missouri. I am very impressed with Missouri, which is a very uncomfortable place to find yourself when you're very impressed with Missouri.
Missouri also hasn't left their home field yet. And they have not played a team with a pulse. And South Carolina is a bad football team.
Agreed.
So
take that back. Take that back because Kansas is a good team.
I don't think Kansas
is a good team.
I watched that game. That was not close. I know what the score was until the fourth quarter. It's still, the yardstick was not close. And I don't think Kansas is very good after watching them this year.
You're wrong. Kansas is a good team. But I will say you're right. They haven't left the state, and they certainly haven't been challenged by the best in the sport.
Kansas is not a good team. You can define.
You going to ask me about Florida?
You can define good team how you want, but if you mean to tell me any type of contending team, they are not. Yes, I would love to know. Actually, the way I was going to ask you is this. Napier or Pittman, who gets fired first?
Oh, it's got to be Napier. Have you looked at the schedule? I mean, that is a brutal schedule, man. And by the way, I'm not laughing about anybody being fired, right? Because it's not just one person who's making $21 million in a buyout. There's lots of other people that get laid off.
Good point.
In those situations, and lots of people. So, we're not laughing at anybody individually, but, I mean, it's a train wreck. 36 first half yards. Wow. I mean, that was embarrassing to watch in the rain, sure. But, just really embarrassing to watch. Carson had a bad day. He had a rough day again in the rain, and give him a little bit of a nod. But the Gators are looking terrible.
Arkansas plays Notre Dame this week.
I know. Is Notre Dame in the conference? What's going on there? But
I was just saying, fine, let me elaborate on my point then. Arkansas plays Notre Dame, which I presume they will lose. Florida has an open date this week. My point is, if Arkansas loses this week, could they maybe move on from Pittman this week? Florida obviously isn't going to fire Napier during the open date.
I don't think. I mean, you're Arkansas, unless your coach gets caught on a motorbike with a neck brace and lies about it. I don't think you're firing your coach mid-season. You're going to run it out and trying to save some money. So
all right.
I don't. But I will say Taylor Green, 325 yards against Memphis, made some big plays under pressure, but only 3 points in the second half, Arkansas. I mean, that was embarrassing.
You more impressed with the Tigers that Nussmeier's torso apparently isn't ripped to shreds and he can still throw a football?
Well, it's just great to see that against the D team. D is in. It's great to see that the team can be effective against. At least you came out of it without any injuries, right?
Well, you lost Gabe Relaford, and Caden Durham's got an ankle injury.
It was a joke, dude. It was sarcasm. I don't take very much out of playing these opponents. You did what the team did, what it was supposed to do, and that was nice against a team that really had zero business being on the field with LSU.
Agreed. However, the physical nature of Nussmeier actually showing he can throw the ball deep and accurately and move, like that's what people wanted. I'm with you on the score. People wanted to see him be able to physically do that.
I don't think this is a Nussmeier problem. Nussmeier knows how to play quarterback. He's a year older, a year smarter. He's probably only taking, how many classes is he taking? Is he on the Joe Burrow, Jaden Daniels one class right now? I mean, he's not the problem. And
you're missing the point. It was the whole thing about his torso that everyone was consumed with last week, was just his not whether he could, it was just the physical ability to be able to throw with the torso and torque and all that stuff. Well, clearly he showed you he can.
Yeah, I never thought for a minute that was a problem. So that's why I wasn't impressed.
Good. You and I agree on that.
It's the offensive line and being able to run the ball and converting on third downs. That's the biggest issue.
You're pretty good.
And we didn't learn anything from the game last week.
Yeah, no doubt. Except that Garrett Nussmeier's torso is fine. So on. Let's do this. I'm serious. Russ, I don't think you realize how big of a thing that was here. I couldn't go anywhere without people asking about the stupid torso, which was not a thing. It's a thing.
That's why coaches do this. That's why coaches do it.
It's a thing in the sense that it's literally something, but it was nothing that was affecting anything.
Yeah. I mean, by the way, I think he was a little banged up all the way back to spring ball or fall ball, right?
Yes, that's when it happened. Yeah.
There was probably a little bit in it, but it had far more to do with Kelly trying to distract everybody from his offensive line that can't block on a run play and inability to convert on third down than it had to do really with anything wrong with Nussmeier.
All right, let's talk about this week, including the Tigers and the Rebels from Oxford. We'll do that with Russ Mitchell as we continue. You can get Russ at Russ Mitchell CFB. This week's game preview is coming up next on AFR.
AFR.
Y'all, we are moving into the hottest real estate period of the year in this market. I know that throws people off a lot when we talk about it because people think, oh, no, the springtime or the summertime when people are trying to move at the end of the year. No. November. October, November is the busiest real estate time in this market annually because it makes sense. You want to be in your new home for the new year? You want to be in your new home for the holidays? This is when people move. So, if you're thinking of selling your home, you got to know how much your home is worth. I got an idea. Go to agent225.com, agent225.com. That's Darren James's website, newly redesigned. It's got an awesome tool. It's the home value tool at agent225.com. Do it right now. Grab your phone. If you or you just own your home and you're just wondering how much it's worth. Go to agent225.com, hit the home value tab. As quickly as you can type in your address, boom, it'll tell you exactly how much your home is worth. Agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Rolling along, Russ Mitchell joining us, taking a look at the weekend ahead in the Southeastern Conference. We'll get to LSU and Ole Miss here in a smidge. Let's start with maybe what might be the biggest one in the country. Georgia hosting Alabama. It was a memorable one a year ago where Bama got a big Georgia rally, took the lead, and then Ryan Williams made one of the most spectacular plays any of us would ever see. Georgia's a 3.5-point home favorite. Both teams coming off a bye. Where do you lean here?
You know, it's interesting. Do you know Alabama's defense right now is dead last? Dead last. Alabama's defense is dead last in the SEC in allowing opponents to convert on third down.
Yeah,
it's week 5. Yeah. They haven't even played anybody, really. I mean, and they're dead last. You would think they would be doing much better in stopping opponents. It's not like Georgia's been lighting it up, right? It's not like Gunner's been fantastic on third down, but dead last in the country in allowing opponents to convert on third down. Now you got to go into Sanford Stadium and that crowd tax. 33 straight wins at home in Sanford, 52-4 in Kirby's career. The longest active streak, 33 straight, by the way, in FBS football. And I know Bama gets back Keenan at defensive tackle. They also get back Miller in the backfield running the ball. But with, the fact that the defense is dead last and allowing the other team to stay on the field, the fact that you've got to go into that stadium and play, and the fact that Kirby's had 2 weeks to plan, and you can say Kalen's had 2 weeks to plan, but I mean, if I got to pick between Kirby and Kalen, I'm going to say that 2 weeks for Kirby is a bigger deal. So I like Georgia at home in this
it's on
game,
Kalen DeBoer.
And I don't think I'm alone.
Kalen DeBoer, great coach. Championships at the lower level. He's a great coach. Get out of here. I hope Georgia.
His mother thinks he's a
dog.
His mother thinks he's a great guy.
Here's my question. Here's my question. When Georgia pile drives Alabama, what do I do next week? Because now, I just got to keep up in the ante. Like, what do I do?
Oh, I know. Actually, we should just I'm so superstitious. And by the way, I love all my children the same. I don't care if Alabama wins or Georgia wins.
No, you don't. We all know the truth.
But
you got a Wyatt Tittle jersey behind you. You got a piece of a goalpost from Vanderbilt last year on your wall.
What? Well, I was going to say when a man gives you his jersey, you put it on your office wall. But there's no excuse for the Vanderbilt upright. I say you get like a doghouse and come out of the doghouse.
What if I do? No. What if I do the Georgia spiked shoulder pads thing? And what if I do I like the idiot who paints the bulldog thing on his bald head? What if I do that guy?
Actually, you could really do that, and that would be a step down. I mean, look, losing to Georgia in Georgia is not that. Depending on how it happens, right? Losing to Georgia in Sanford Stadium is certainly nothing to be that shocked about.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Not to pour cold water on your Bama's burning.
No, I'll figure it out. It'll be great. It'll always be great. Auburn coming off a loss goes to Texas A&M, undefeated, coming off a bye. So Auburn back-to-back road conference games. A&M coming off a bye. This feels like a really tough spot for Auburn.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, plus Hugh Freeze is now 1-9 against ranked AP opponents since moving out on the plains.
Ooh,
so
good number.
Yeah, it's ugly. That's just ugly. There's no other way to really sort of frame that. No. 1-9 is pretty bad. Not as bad as Auburn's offensive line, though. I mean, you know they say about professors, publish or perish, right?
Mm.
They gotta protect Arnold or they're gonna perish. And this Aggie defensive front is averaging 3 sacks a game. They're really good. And if Auburn finds themselves in 3rd and long situations like they did, and a lot of this is on Jackson, he holds onto the ball for too long. But, that 12th man starts going, and it's such a cult atmosphere out there in Kyle Field. So, I think this is a bad place. And Jeremiah Cobb, for crying out loud, you've got a great running back, Auburn. You gave him the ball 6 times in Norman. 6 times you gave him the ball. You got to feed Cobb and let him run the ball. So, but I don't think they will. And I like A&M, and I can't believe it.
Wasn't that the knock last year with Hugh, that they wouldn't give the ball to Jarquez Hunter?
Yeah.
I've seen. I mean, it's weird, Russ, because LSU and Auburn haven't played for 2 years, so it's a little out of sight, out of mind. But that was the big knock a year ago. Like, what do you do?
And what's Hugh Freeze's record against AP ranked teams again?
1-9 since he's been at Auburn.
1-9. That's right.
Do you know who the one is? Do you know who the win is?
Why do you you just can't take it?
I'm just curious.
You got to be so greedy that you ask for. What is wrong with you? Why can't you just take the 1-9? I don't know who the one is off the top of my head.
All right, we'll get to LSU. I want to leave time for LSU. Ole Miss. Anything on Notre Dame, Arkansas?
Arkansas can throw the ball. They're 15th. And by the way, Notre Dame's pass defense, guess where Notre Dame's pass defense is in the country right now?
A bajillionth.
132nd in the country. Notre Dame's pass defense.
Maryland, when you have a senior-laden team and they're all gone, then you take a giant step back.
Love and Price. It's not a law firm. It's a backfield, man. I mean, just feed them the ball. Hogs are almost dead last in the SEC in run defense. I think you're going to see a lot of Notre Dame running in this game.
Kentucky and South Carolina is a pillow fight. Can Kentucky go to Columbia and put a scare in them? I mean, that's a short line, Russ. That's 5.5. I mean,
Kentucky is amongst the worst teams in the country in allowing explosive plays. So if Sellers is ever going to really light it up and get going, and Jacobs had a pretty good game out in Columbia against Missouri. So expect some big plays from South Carolina at home, and I like the Gamecocks.
Okay. All right. Let's dive into LSU and Ole Miss. Seen a lot of line movement on this one. Ole Miss is a slight home favorite here. Chambliss is going to start at quarterback. Let's start there with what you think about the decision that to start Chambliss at quarterback.
Well, I mean, if you're an LSU fan, you're probably pretty happy about that because this kid was playing for Ferris State last year, and I don't care what he did against Arkansas or Tulane, but I think the country is very divided right now, but I think we can all come together and agree that Ferris is not a state.
Agreed.
It's a wheel. And I wouldn't, if I was Trinidad Chambliss, I hope somebody is preparing this kid for what's about to land on his head. One of those old school from when I was a kid, Roadrunner anvil thing is about to land on Chambliss's head. I will say, Ole Miss obviously brings the top 10 total offense. LSU's defense has had 11 sacks. It's very aggressive. They get turnovers. I don't think everybody is trying to make this game about Ole Miss's offense and Kiffin and LSU's defense. To me, that's not what this game is really about. It's about LSU's offense, because you've got to keep the ball away from Kiffin, not Chambliss. You got to keep the ball away from Kiffin. And, LSU is barely top 40 in the country in converting on third downs. That's after, the Sisters of the Poor this week, where you got 65%. You're still barely in the top 40 converting on third downs. You're 109th in the nation in yards per carry. And now you're going to potentially play without your starting running back. The only way that works is if you take the ball away from them more. And I will point out that they are near the bottom of the SEC in turnover margin. So maybe that will be a factor in the game. I do think this is going to be a much closer game, and it's going to come down to your offense and your running game. And if you can't run the ball, if you're under 4 yards a carry, you're going to lose. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think you're going to eat this kid for dinner, and I like LSU on the road.
Ole Miss is dead last in the SEC in rush defense. Do you think that helps get LSU going?
From your lips to God's ears, man.
It's bad.
I will tell you this. Now, yeah? I will tell you this. Your defense, and I love how great. I like me a little aggressive. And I love how aggressive this secondary is. You can expect a lot of hitch and goes in this game, man. Kiffin is going to try to expose that. He's going to try to bait that secondary in on some, out routes and watch them cut up field. So I'm sure Blake and the team will be ready for that. But if this game was in LSU, if this game was in Baton Rouge, not a chance. But at home, I think it'll be very tight, and it's going to come down to whether or not you guys can keep the ball and run it.
He's Russ Mitchell. Got a really nice hat there as well. Paris Construction and Roofing. Oh, tell us about this Echo Collectibles thing going on with the Ryder Cup.
My buddy's got a company that they just started, Echo Collectibles, which it's basically, it's such a great idea. It's, as a guy who's got, thousands of dollars of sports memorabilia that's plastic in his office, it's, instead of plastic, it's gold and silver coins with like museum quality, really lovely pieces. And it starts off with the U.S. Ryder Cup and Keegan Bradley. So you can go to echocollectibles.com and take a look at some of those coins. It's a great way to combine the love of sports and events with actually something that is worth more than plastic.
EchoCollectibles.com. I don't care about the Ryder Cup, but if you get something like with LSU or the Saints on it, I might buy that.
We're working on it.
Okay. I love to hear that. Thank you, Russ.
All right. Later.
That is Russ Mitchell. It's After Further Review. Get on by Supper Club, y'all. SupperClubBTR.com for your reservations. I'm overdue. It's been a couple of weeks. I need to go back. SupperClubBTR.com. Actually, last time I went, had one of the Sagrera cuts, had some bison last time I was at Supper Club. Chef Layton is always, especially if you've been to Supper Club a bunch and you've seemingly tried everything on the menu, he's always coming up with new creative things like the bison entree. But man, I get to this point sometimes where I just start just craving that veal parm. It's a gigantic veal chop. It's served, breaded and fried at tableside, where they bring the skillet with the Parmesan and the melted cheese, and they lay it over that chop there tableside, so it maintains the crispness. Oh, it's so good. It's at Supper Club. SupperClubBTR.com, SupperClubBTR.com. You're celebrating something, go to Supper Club. You just need a place to go after LSU and Ole Miss on Saturday? Supper Club. SupperClubBTR.com. Remember, open seating at the bar. They have 14 bar stools, I think 7 bar tables. It's always open seating at the bar. So first come, first served. You want a reservation? supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com. Okay, y'all, it's after further review. We're going to knock out our final break. We'll come back. Jimmy will do Otter Locks. Our Hump Day shows are brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, yourgoodwood.com. Thanks to Russ for being here. Matt Perino covers the Buffalo Bills, was here at last hour as well. We talked a ton today. Chase Young not at practice. Trevor Penning still got a toe, but was back at practice today. That was good to see, as was Taliesin Fuaga. So we'll continue to roll along here as the Saints hopefully getting healthier as they head to Buffalo this weekend to take on the Bills. All right, Otters here for Otter Locks next. Stay far.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. You know, I love telling you about the G team. Garrett Nussmeier, G&G, Gordon and Garrett. Garrett Nussmeier, newest member of the G team. Of course, ever since NIL became a thing, Gordon has been so invested into helping the Tigers win, which that might be a reason alone to give him a call if you need an attorney. Call Gordon and his team. They got offices all over the state of Louisiana, so no matter where you're listening or watching, if you're in the state of Louisiana and you find yourself in need of an attorney, get Gordon and get it done. Just call 888-8888, 888-8888, or go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com. I say it every day. If you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. Don't go it alone. You can trust Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys with offices all over the state of Louisiana, so you don't have to travel. Gordon and his team will go to work for you to get you what you deserve. GetGordon.com, getgordon.com. It's Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. You know what to do. Get Gordon and get it done.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment on a Hump Day edition of AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Remember, lowest prices, never any contracts. You want to feel like your younger self. They can help. Yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. All right, time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Otter, how are you?
Good, Matt. How about you?
Doing really well. See, we got a ton of baseball today, huh?
Yeah, we do, man. That is the best regular day of the regular season I ever can remember. I mean, 7 different parks, including Yankee Stadium last night, Wrigley Field, Arizona. I mean, Seattle was crazy. I mean, Cleveland, and nothing topped Cleveland last night. Scooble, we lost that one last night. He had the 2-0 lead, but came up 3 runs in the 6th inning, and ball never left the infield. So let's start right there. And Cleveland is just finally now they own the tiebreaker. And 2 games left in this 3-game series. They're tied, but the tiebreaker goes to Cleveland. That 12.5 game lead in the was less than a month ago is gone. And Tyler Bybee for the Indians, the Guardians on the hill tonight for Cleveland. He beat Scooble in Detroit last time. Going against Flaherty, we're going to take the Guardians minus the money right there. It was 35 earlier. I think it's climbing up.
144 right now.
144. Hunter Green and Paul Skeens. This will be the last appearance for Paul Skeens tonight. Hunter Green was outstanding. Shut out the Oakland A's, the red-hot hitting Oakland A's last time. Going to take Green simply because of this. Cincinnati fell a game back behind the Mets last night for that wild card spot. Skeens has been limited on his pitch count, so maybe 5 innings. So that's why we're going. Green is going to stay in the game much longer than Skeens tonight. We're going to take the Reds, who need it tonight, against Paul Skeens.
By the way, that one's underway. It's up to $1.40 on the money line with the Reds. There are 2 out. I'm sorry. They're going to the top of the 2nd here, so they're through 1. You still like the value at $1.40?
That's a little high. I mean, it's getting a little high.
Yeah, you can in-game it. Just watch it for the next half inning, maybe in-game it.
Right. Boston, Ocean Springs, Garrett Crochet. He is the runner-up. Maybe an outside shot to steal the American League Cy Young away from Scooble. He has been on fire as of late. They won it last night. Boston minus 128 on the road at Toronto. Cubbies blew a 6-1 lead with the wind blowing in in Wrigley last night. The Mets, their biggest comeback win of the year. But the Cubs have their ace on the mound tonight. Boyd, we're taking the Cubbies minus 120. And then a moneyline parlay, Seattle with Castillo, Snell for the Dodgers. Seattle and Dodgers moneyline parlay. Snell has not given up a run his last 2 starts. He's on fire right now. Castillo has been really hot for Seattle. Seattle clinched a wild card last night. They'll clinch the division tonight, plus 120 there. Las Palmas tomorrow. Las Palmas Mexican restaurant on Airline in Gonzales tomorrow for live at lunch, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
All right. 5 plays. If you missed them, you get them online at louisianasports.net. Catch Otter and Hanny tomorrow at Las Palmas on Airline in Gonzales. Thank you, Otter.
Good luck.
All right, same to you. All right, that'll do it for us here. Remember, if you miss anything, AFR On Demand presented by Breck Golf. Book your tee time, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org. It's all there for you. Podcast, YouTube, however you want it. All right, that'll do it for us here. Muse, Paulie, thanks. Y'all have an awesome night. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
After further review.
If you're thinking of buying land, First South Farm Credit is how you buy land. They're your first option. It's First South Farm Credit. They've been farmers' first option for agriculture for more than 100 years. First South Farm Credit. They've been first in agriculture for 100 years. They make it your first call. First South Farm Credit. And as a member-owned cooperative specializing in financing anything rural, they can help with whatever land, recreational property, equipment, hunting, recreational property. They finance it all. It's First South Farm Credit. And for more than 100 years, since 1916, that's the one thing they've done, is help Louisianians buy land. With branches in Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, 44 branches. They can help you buy land anywhere in the lower 48. So if you're thinking of buying land, make your first call, First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthLand.com.